I was looking at some deconstructed vids and they have like 11 patterns and there's just no way they're doing that. These guys make like 20 beats a day and send that out. So I'm going to show you some really easy ways and you can really knock out these beats in like 20-30 minutes. So I'm going to increase the tempo to like 155 and obviously I'm going to go into Serum. I'm going to go into my new Oris one. I'm going to just go for G minor here, choose this pluck right here. And then what I like to do is just keep the bass notes really simple because this is what our 808 is going to follow, and because it's going to be so distorted, you don't want that going up and down. Usually like two-step it and just build on top. Pretty much this is like the basis of the melody. It kind of just repeats back to this over and over again, and everything else is just kind of filler notes, so there's always a sound playing. You can kind of see I went out of key here, but you know, sometimes you just gotta go by ear, and the sharp note really helps it be like more evil. Obviously, like I said, the bass notes were C, and then at the end right here I just kind of switched it up a little bit just so it like builds up and then drops back in. And then I'm gonna add it to this mixer track right here, and what I'm actually gonna do is add halftime. Go to 4 bars here, and then what we can do, instead of slowing it down, we can just lower the amount. So now there's like a lower like octave playing in the background, so now there's like more low end. And I'm actually gonna boost the low end a little bit more just so when we add the 808s it'll like distort even better. And then we could just add like a little melody right here, usually like a lead synth. So usually when you're building leads, you want to go for like a call and response type of vibe. So if you hear this, just this melody, it's like asking like a question, and then this is like the answer. And a really good way to get a lot of bounce and make your melodies a little bit more interesting is to play with like the triplet flow. Instead of just having it be like 2-4, I let this note linger for a little extra bit, and then it just slides into like the D sharp and D. And then for the mixing of this, I'm just going to put it on the same exact mixer track as the pluck, so nothing interesting there. So now we're just going to add a few more presets just to fill up the melody even more, so it'll help it be even more distorted. I really like this oh yeah synth because it has a lot of noise in it, and what I'm actually going to do is just copy the bass notes right here, maybe just an octave up. So nothing special here with the melody. I just kind of followed bass notes here. Obviously they're not in the same spot, but when the C is playing, it's only the C is playing, and then once the bass notes change, I kind of follow that, so it's never out of key. And then what we're actually going to do here is add a gross beat to it, because when you're creating Ken Carson melodies, you just want to add a lot of textures and effects. That'll just help the beat be even more distorted. So I'm just going to find a little preset here. So that sounds really good, so I'm just going to leave it at that, and I might add one little more pattern just for a little bit of extra texture. Remember this lead being really goofy, so I might just add that. So yeah, really basic here. When you have a good preset, you can just kind of do that. And obviously I think the gross beat was working, so it's on the same mixer track as that other melody, and it just adds like a little bit of extra craziness to it. So yeah, that's pretty much the full melody done. So now we can get to the drums, which are really basic too. I'm going to start out with my 808 because that's what you guys want to see probably. So just grab something hard, put on cut self, and just keep it really basic. So really basic. Just follow the bass notes and switch it up here, following the bass notes again. How many times am I gonna say that? And for the mixing of this, it's really basic too. First of all, I'd recommend getting like a filthy kit or a lucrative kit, because I'm pretty sure that's what they all use. Like that is like the standard, and then you can just like click in whichever one works well. And then for the mixing, usually is just push up the thresh and just mess with the post gain here. Usually if you keep it at like 83%, it should give you like a nice distortion. And when we're mastering it, we're gonna make it even more distorted, but let's add the drums first. So hi-hat, really basic. I'm just gonna start with 2 steps and add the clap and snare, and then we just add some triplets here and there. So nothing too crazy, just a few rolls here and there to keep it interesting. And then I just changed the clap and snare to have this little bounce that it usually does. And for the mixing, I just like having the snare and hi-hat be the same. And we can keep it really basic. I'm just gonna add a little open hat for a little bit more distortion. Just add like the classic hit. And then what I'm actually gonna do is just copy the 808 a little bit more and make a really simple version of the 808 pattern instead of having all this. Just keep it really basic. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole beat done. I'm gonna go here and just arrange it real quick. Oh my god, why do I always forget to do this? Make sure the cut self is the exact same on both 808s. So you can go on and on with the arrangement, but you guys are here for the mixing, so I'm just gonna go here. Obviously I have a regular soft clipper on there, and what we can do here is just boost the lows even more, and then also boost the mids, maybe widen it a little bit, and boost the highs especially, and that's kind of all you need. So this beat took me about 33 minutes to make, and a lot of that could have been cut off if I wasn't stuttering throughout the whole video. So that should just show you guys how easy it is to make these beats if you just have the right sounds and methods. It really isn't that complicated. Check out my kits in the link below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. And yeah, see you next time.